Now, here I am having a problem on simple and compound interest. The difference between compound interest and the simple interest accrued on an amount of rupees this for 3 years is this, right? So what is the compound interest? That is 1 plus r by 100 raised to 3 minus 1, and the principal is 2500, so that's r into t. R we have to find out, t is 3 year by 100, and this is 2500, right? So that is actually 153.86. Now friends, see this expression, that is 1 plus r by 100 whole cube. I am going to open that and I'll tell you why I'm doing that. 2500, just keep it aside. 1 plus, this is 3r by 100, then plus 9r square by 100 square. Then the next term will be, 3r square by 100 square. And the next term will be r cube by 100 cube. Then this is minus 1 and this is this term, right? Now friends, why I am doing this? See, in the case of a compound interest problem, you will usually get this sort of terms, right? So what happens, it really becomes difficult for us to expand this and solve this, right? So what we can do is, it's 1 plus x raised to n can be written as 1 plus nx plus n minus 1 by 2 x square, right? Remaining terms can be left, right? Even if n is a big quantity and x is a quantity that is a fraction, then even you can drop this term. So that is approximately equal to 1 plus nx. Okay, so that is a very important result that you should be knowing, right? So this will help you in solving many problems, right? Now here what is happening? 1 plus 3r by 100 plus 3r square by 100 square plus r cube by 100 cube. So I'll be dropping this because whatever is the r, that is 15, 12 and 14, right? If we find out their cube and if we divide that by 100 cube, a very small quantity will be there. So that small quantity will put hardly any impact on the final calculation. But if we eliminate that, it will be easier for us to calculate, right? Now I have written the expansion of this over here. Now this one and this is cancelled. 3r by 100, 3r by 100 is cancelled. So finally we are left with 2500 into 3r square by 100 square is equal to 153.86. I eliminate this, right? Now friends, since I have dropped this term, so whatever the value of r I'll be getting from this solution will be approximated value, right? And to get approximated value, you still need to calculate this. So 3, 5, 3, 1, 3 2s are 6, 2, 26, that is around 9, 3 9s are 27, right? 25, 2s are 50, then 0 and then 5. So it's around 205. That's r square, right? So closer to that r square, the 14 square is 196. So that is the closest to 205. So answer must be 14, right? If you don't apply this technique or this rule over here, you'll be like spending a lot of time on solving this problem, right? So once you are clear with that, you don't have to write this expression. Directly from here you can proceed. Getting my point? Directly from here you can proceed because you, in your mind, you know that you'll be left with just 3r square by 100 square into 2500 will be this, right? So this expression is not needed. This I have explained you. And finally you have to approximate the calculation. Don't worry whether the number given on the right hand side is proper a multiple of that or not. You just start cutting that. Whatever is the approximation required, do it, right? As if over here it was just 26, but then also I cancelled it by 3 into 9, right? Because bit approximation is allowed. If you don't go for approximation, you won't be able to get the correct answer because it will be a time consuming process for you. Getting my point? Now, once again, time and work. 15 men can do a piece of work in 6 days. In How many men would be required to do the same work in 7.5 days? That's pretty simple problem, friends. Days are increasing by 25%, right? 6 and 1.5, that is 25%. Number of days are increasing, right? That means 125% of the original, or we can say 5 by 4 of the original, right? If days are 5 by 4, then the men will be 4 by 5. So 4 by 5 of 15 is what? 4 by 5 of 15 is 12, right? So how many men are required? 12, as simple as that. No need to go for any sort of paperwork, right? If man increases, day decreases, because they are in inverse variation. It's pretty simple concept, or we can say common sense, right? If for doing the same work, number of person increased, then number of days required will be reduced, right? So no paperwork is required at all. From 6 to 7.5, 25% is increased. That means 125%. Number of days, 125% is 5 by 4. That means requirement of men will be 4 by 5. Reverse of that. So 4 by 5 of 15 is 12%, right? Now we have this problem based on averages. Lot many problems based on averages we have already done. Now you must be clear about the time saving technique for this. Average age of class of 65 boys is 14 years. Average age of 20 of them was 14 years, and that of another 15 was 12 years. Find the average age of the remaining boy. See, out of 65, 20 is already given and another 15 is given. Now these 20 are having the average age as 14. So no need to calculate above on here, right? There is no loss or no gain up from this data. Okay. Now see these another 15 boys. 15 boys are having the average age is 12. That means the difference, that the data or the calculation we are losing is 2 years per student, right? 2 years per student. So 15 students are having 12 years of age. So per student we are losing 2 years. That means 30 years in all we are losing. Now that has to be compensated by the third group, right? 20 this person, 15 this person. So remaining 30 persons are left, right? Now these 30 people, we assume their average is 14, right? But they need to compensate this also. That is the data which we are losing over here by these 15 students. Every student is losing 2 years. That means 15 students are losing 30 years, right? So these 30 years, the loss has to be made up by these 30 students, right? So every student, if covers up the loss of one, then the overall data will be satisfied, right? Or we can say average will be satisfied, right? That means initial average is 14, so the new average will be 14 plus 1. That means each and every student is going to compensate by 1, right? So this is like a time saving technique. Otherwise what you can do, 65 into 14 minus 20 into 14 minus 15 into 12, that will be the total divided by, you need to find out the average. So the remaining 65, 20 and 30, 15, so that's divided by 30, that will be your answer, right? So you can go this way or you can go this way, right? In case of averages, if you are clear about the deviation, that would be really great, right? So I hope you are clear with both the methods. If you're not clear with the shortcut technique, you need to practice for that. Yeah. Now a sum of money is divided among A, B, C, D in the ratio this. If the share of C is 1668 more than that of share of A, then what is the total amount of money of B and D together? A and C, 3 and 7. The difference is 4 part. Now 4 part is 1668. In case of B and D, the total is 5 plus 11, 16 part. Now 4 part is 1668. That means 16 part will be 4 times of this, right? So 1668 into 4. So unit digit must be 2. An approximate idea you can get, 1600 into 4, that is 6400, plus I assume this 68 to be 70. So 70 into 4 is 280, right? So 64 280, that is 66280. I'm sorry. That's around 6400 plus 280, that is 6680. So that's closer to this, right? Because we have increased this 68 to 70. So 2 into 4, 8 is added extra. So 6682 is the correct choice. No need to go for any sort of paperwork. Most of the students, what they do, first of all, they will calculate this 3x, 5x, 7x and 11x. Then they will be calculating 4x is this. Now after that they will be calculating x. Then they will be calculating 16x. So it's unnecessary calculation will be there. Since you know the 4 part, you can calculate the 16 part. That will be 4 times. As simple as that. Okay. And be fast in calculation as well, as I have done over here. Right? Just try to get the approximate idea and mark the answer. Friends, here I'm solving queries sent by a student. On the Independence Day, sweets were to be equally distributed among 350 children, but on that particular day 25 children were absent. Thus each child got 5 extra sweets. How many sweets did each child get? So friends, a very easy problem. You can go do this problem by 2-3 methods. If you wish to solve the problem by an equation method, I assume that the each child is getting X number of sweets, right? That means 350 students are getting X sweets. That means these are the total number of sweets. And that is equal to 325 students getting X plus 5 sweets, right? As simple as that. So we need to calculate the value of X. 25, 13 and 25, 14. So 14x is equal to 13x plus 65. That means x is equal to 65. That means each child is getting 65 chocolates. So this is one method. Or else what you can do, see when the 25 children are absent, 325 children are there, right? Now each child is getting 5 extra chocolates. So these are the extra chocolates which were being distributed among these children, right? And these extra chocolates belong to these 25 children, right? Getting my point? Every child is getting 5 extra chocolates. So these are the total number of extra chocolates which were of these 25 children, right? So further this is 65. That means each child is getting 65 chocolates. So both the ways you can go. I hope you are clear. One more problem based on time and work seems to be a hot topic among students. 24 men can complete a piece of work in 16 days. So that means the work is of 24 into 16 men days. The same work can be completed by 8 women in 72 days. So 8 into 72 women days. And that's equal to 24 children, 32 days. So 24 children, 32 days. Right? Never ever multiply the figures because it will be unnecessary time consuming and you don't need that actually. I just simplify that. 24, 3 and that's 24, 8, 2 and 4. Right? That means 2 men are equal to 3 women are equal to 4 children. Right? Now what is the simplest method to solve the problem? What you do? You convert men and women to children. Now our work is of 24 into 32 children days. Right? 10 men, 2 men are equal to 4 children. That means 10 men are equal to 20 children. 15 women, 3 women are equal to 4 children. That means 3, 5. That means 4, 5. So 15 women are equal to 20 children. And these 24 children are there. So 24 plus 40, 64 children are there. Right? Now the work is of 24 into 32 children days. And 64 children are there. So it will take 12 days. Okay? As simple as that. No need to mug up any sort of formula. Right? Very simply you can do the problem in 20 to 30 seconds. And never ever multiply the figures. Okay? Now, in an election between two candidates, one got 72% of the total valid votes, 25% of the total votes were invalid. If the total votes are 80 to 100, what is the number of valid votes that the other person got? Now, 25% of the votes were invalid. That means 75% of this will be valid. 75% is what? 3 by 4. Now these are the valid votes. Now this person, the given over here 72% he has got, and he has got 72% of the valid votes. That means the other person might have got 28% of the valid votes. Now these are the valid votes and this is 28% of the valid votes, right? So that's 82 into 21. 82 into 2, so that's 1640 plus 82, so that's around, that is 1722, right? That's your correct answer. Okay, I'm sure you are clear. Friends, once again, time and work. Here 2 men and 3 boys can do work in 10 days. That means the work is of 2 men 10 days, that is 20 man days plus 3 into 10, 30 boy days. And the same work can be done by 3 men in 8 days, that is 24 man days plus 2 boys 8 days, 16 boy days, right? So this is 4 and this is 14. That means 7 and 2. 7 boys is equal to 2 men. Now 7 boys is equal to 2 men. Here we can say 2 men and 3 boys can do the work. That means 2 men is equal to 7 boys. 7 boys plus 3 boys, 10 boys. 10 boys can do the work in 10 days. That means the work is of 100 boy days, right? The total work is of 100 boy days. Now here we are having 2 men and 1 boy. 2 men is equal to 7 boy. 7 boy and 1 boy. 8 boys are there. The work is of 100 boy days. So the work is they will take 12 and a half day to complete the work, right? A very simple problem, friends. If you are conceptually clear, you can solve these sort of problems very easily. If you are just mugging up the formula, then any twisted problem whichever is asked in the examination, you will stuck up, right? Gradually the level of questions which are asked in the examination, maybe you talk about CAT or maybe you talk about bank PO or any other exam, the level of questions is gradually increasing, right? So you need to be conceptually clear, right? Most of the students, they just dependent upon the formula, and if there is bit variation in the formula, they stuck up, right? So if you are conceptually clear, it will be great. Okay, now friends, once again a problem based on calculation. 41 square plus 38 square into this figure. See, 41 square, that's 1681. Quickly you can calculate that. It's that 1, this into 2, that's 4 into 1 into 2, that's 8, and then 4 square, that's 16. So 1681 is the square of 41. After that, you need not calculate the square of 38 and 0.15, right? Now you can very well see that 0.15 square will be like what? 0.0225, right? So if this figure is multiplied by 38 square, a very small figure you will get, something around 30, 40, right? So if you add 30 to 40 in this figure 1681, so your answer must be around this only, right? This option is eliminated, this is eliminated, this is eliminated, right? These two, this option may be correct, and we have none of these also. So to verify that, what we can do, we can go for the digital root method as well, right? Now 41 square, the digital root of 41 square will be 4 plus 1, 5. 5 square is 25. The digital root is 7. Plus 8 and 3, 11, 1 and 1, 2, 2 square is 4 into, this is 5 and 1, 6, 6 square is 36, the digital root will be 9 only. And if any number is multiplied by 9, it produces the digital root as 9. So this is 9 plus 7, 16. That means the final digital root is 7. Now your answer must be having the final digital root as 7. So let's check with this. 7, 8 and 9 has gone, 9 has gone, so we are left with 7, right? So indeed this is the correct choice. And one more important thing over here, you need to think the answers are not at all approximated, else digital root method will not work. Now here the answers are not approximated because see, if you multiply any number, say 38 into 0.15, right, you won't be getting any number other than like tens or hundreds in the denominator, right? So obviously the difference is of decimals only. No need to go for any sort of approximation over here, right? So we can be sure that answers are not approximated. These are the pure answers, right? So if you practically multiply these three figures, you'll be getting the same figure. This is not an approximated answer, right? You have to be clear that approximation and digital root, both of them are quite apart from each other. These are the parallel, they cannot like match. Okay, I hope you are clear. Now calculation based problem. 968 into 445 is equal to x into 0.4. Now I eliminate this point, I put a 0 over here, right? Now obviously you cannot multiply these two numbers and divide by these numbers to get the value of x. To save your time, what you need to do, you check the options, right? First of all, if I eliminate this 0, suppose this 0 is not there, then 5 into 8, there will be one more 0. That means this calculation on the left hand side will produce two zeros. Just mind that. Apart from this 0, if I take out this 0, 5 into 8, that's 40. That will produce one more 0. So the left hand side calculation will produce two zeros, right? In all, inclusive of this. But on the right hand side, we don't have any zeros over there. Now this number is multiple of 4, right? Now to produce two zeros, we need to have two 5s. Getting my point? 1 5 and 1 2 combination will produce 1 0. 2 5 and 2 2 will produce two zeros, right? 1 5 and 2 combination will produce 1 0. 2 5 and 2 combination will produce 2 0. Now here we are having two 2's, so we require two 5s. Now two 5s from the options will be having just from 25, right? So 25 must be the correct choice, right? You can mark that, and if you wish to verify that, you can very well verify the same by digital root method, right? 9, just cancel it out. 8 plus 6, 14, that's 5. 4 and 4, 5 and 4, 9, that's, we are left with 4. So 5 into 4, the digital root of left hand side is 2, right? Now I just check it out with 25. See, 7 into 9, 4 and 3, 7 and 1, 8 into 5 plus 2, 7. So that's 56, that's 11, that's 2. So digital root of both the side is also matching. So 25 is the correct choice. Okay. I hope you are clear. Friends, here I'm having an interesting problem based on time, speed and distance. The concept which we are using over here is the relative speed concept. Two trains start from the same point simultaneously in the same direction. The first train travels at 40 km per hour and the speed of the second train is 25% more than the first train. So it's 50 km per hour. I assume that they are starting at 12 o'clock, right? 30 minutes later, that's 12:30. The third train starts from the same point and in the same direction. It overtakes the second train 90 minutes later than it overtakes the first one. Find the speed of the third train. Now friends, since the third train is overtaking both of these trains, that means the speed of the third train must be obviously more than 50, right? So these two options are ruled out. Now what we can check any of the option. The difference in overtaking time is 90 minutes. Suppose I take 40. Right. Another, this train is starting at 12 o'clock with the 40 km per hour. So in half an hour, it might have covered 20 km and it might have covered 25 km. Now this third train has to cover up this 20 km to meet this. But this train is not also going to stop, right? So we will take care of the relative speed over here. Now suppose I assume 80 km per hour is the speed of the third train, then the relative speed of this, that is the gaining speed, is 40 km per hour. Now it has to gain 20 km and the gaining speed is 40 km per hour. So obviously it will take half an hour to meet. So 1 o'clock. Similarly, if we compare these two, if the speed of the third train is 80 km per hour and the speed of the second train is 50, so the gaining speed of this train is 30. Now it has to gain 25 km, gaining speed is 30, so it will take 25 by 30, that is 5 by 6 hours, or we can say 50 minutes. So after 12:30, 50 minutes, that means 120. So difference between these two is just 20 minutes, but we want it to be 90. So obviously 80 is also ruled out. We are left with 60 and there is no none of these. So we don't have to check. 60 minutes will, 60 speed will be definitely the correct choice, right? But for like convenience, I just explain it. If I assume the speed of the third train is 60, right? So the gaining speed of this train with the compared to this will be 20 km per hour. Now it has to gain 20 km, so it will take 1 hour, right? Gaining speed is 20 and it has to gain 20, so it will take 1 hour. So after 12:30 starting, it will cross at 1:30. Okay, so in this case 50 and 60, the gaining speed is 10 km per hour. It has to gain 25 km, so that will take 2.5 hours. So this train is starting at 12:30. So 12:30 plus 2.5, that's 3 o'clock. Now difference between these two is 90 minutes. Okay, so this here. So 60 is definitely correct choice. I hope you are clear. A very nice question on the concept of relative speed. Okay. Hello friends. In this session, I am solving a query sent by a student. The problem is based on time and work, a very basic problem. 6 women and 10 children take 6 days to complete a particular work. The same work can be done by 6 women in 10 days. How many days 10 children will take to complete the work? Now friends, you don't need even paper and pen to solve this problem, right? It's just a very simple mental exercise over here. Let's say 6 women are taking 10 days to accomplish the task. That means the work is of 60 woman days, right? Now 6 women and 10 children take 6 days. That means 6 women for 6 days. That is 36 woman days plus 10 children for 6 days. That is 60 children days is equal to 60 woman days, right? That means 60 children days is equal to 24 woman days. That means 5 children are equal to 2 women. That means, or we can say 1 woman is equal to 2.5 children. Now the total work is of 60 woman days. 6 women for 10 days. 10 days. That means the total work is of 60 woman days. Right? Capacity of children, woman is 2.5 time of a child. That means children will take 2.5 time of 60. That means 150 days to complete the work. That means a single child will take 150 days to complete the work. Now there are 10 children. That means 150 by 10, 15 days it will take to complete the work. Right? So hardly any paperwork is required. Okay? I hope you are clear.